I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We just stand for just a moment of silence for Fred LaFleur, who was who recently passed and was a planning board member for the village. Thank you. Thank you. Start with any public comments from the agenda?
I have a couple questions on the agenda. I said open it up, you're way ahead of me.
Sorry.
Sean Haggerty, 4 Belvoir Drive. Number 6, High Grove Wells, where are they gonna put the pump station? Has that been figured out yet?
No, it has not.
Has it been found out if there's still a pipe there? Was it moved? Has it not even been looked
The
into?
infrastructure, we've heard that pipe had been either removed or damaged. That still needs to be investigated.
I did see a pipe ripped up over there years ago.
Did you?
One of the DPWIs went on the backhoe and pulled it out of the ground. Whether they repaired it at that point, I don't know.
So it was off the street, is what you're saying?
It was in the parking lot between the street and
Okay,
the building. It was in the baseball park.
okay. So,
So you haven't done anything with that, okay.
no, we just did the water test between the two wells, and we have some results back on the well that's closest to the road. The gallonage, as it was in the beginning, 20-some odd years ago, was a good producing well, but it was a little cloudy. We kind of experienced the same thing during this last test, so we're gonna take a look at the results and see if there's anything that we can figure out or what we could do.
Okay. And the other questions is, the compactor that you're buying with the money from the tractor that you're selling. Why are you replacing that tractor? That tractor had a POT, power takeoff on the back of it. They used to use it for brush hogging. They use it for clearing the side of the road with the arm. I can't think of the name of it right now. Sickle bar.
So,
That needs to be replaced. It was just brought up to our attention how you hired somebody who knows how to use all these things. And then you're selling the equipment that should be used for that. As a post hole digger, I've seen them digging the post holes with it.
well,
It was very
not with that
versatile machine.
tractor. That tractor hasn't run in a period of time. We did get it running, but I was told that the PTO and the attachments that you're describing were not working.
Okay,
And-
so what I'm saying is, why aren't you using that money to replace it? What are you gonna replace it with, since that was a very versatile machine?
Well,
It had a brush hog. They used to cut the big areas, twice the width of anything they have right now.
right,
One
so
man.
we are looking, we've asked for capital equipment list from the departments as we're getting into the budget season. And I'm assuming, because I think we need something similar to that can take care of the shrubbery or any of that stuff that's next to easements and around the ponds and all that good stuff. So if it's not on the list, we're gonna be taking a look at it because it's on my list.
Okay. And why wouldn't you be using CHIPS money to buy that compactor instead of that money, and save that money to buy a new tractor?
Because, well, we'll have money left over for what we got for that Ford. It was somewhere in the neighborhood, I wanna say 12,000.
It's like 12.2 on the paper.
And this roller, I think, came in at about
5.
five-ish.
Mhm.
So we have that money left over, and whatever we have left over from the previous, there was something else we sold, that we have that money set aside, that we'll be able to, put that towards another capital, purchase. Yep.
The last meeting I was at, you said the village is responsible for all sidewalks in the village. When did that change?
I don't think it ever changed. I think the village was always responsible for sidewalks. I don't
As
think.
far as I knew when I bought, and I bought purposely without a sidewalk, the village stated is, I would be responsible for replacing the sidewalk. The apron and sidewalk in your driveway was replaced by the village. So it had to change somewhere. Where do you see the law that says it changed?
It has always been, for the longest time that I recall, that it's always been the residents' responsibility. I don't think the law has ever been modified differently to say it was the residents' responsibility, and now the village made a change in the local law. We can look it up and I can get back to you and let you know if there's any history behind it.
Well, you did say as the laws was changed, it was the village is responsible. That's what I'm trying to figure out. When did it change and why did it change?
I don't recall, if I said we were responsible for the sidewalks, I don't think I might have said, because I don't know why I would have said it, because I don't know exactly
You
when
said
it
as the
happened.
law is written
But
now.
we are responsible for the sidewalks, not the residents. And it's, like I said, I believe it's been that way for the longest period of time that I could ever remember.
On
For
that
all
house,
previous boards that I've been on, previous mayors, no one ever said that it was residents' responsibility.
I was told that when I bought the house, when I was
Okay.
buying in there.
Okay.
So that's why I'm
When you
wondering
buy
when
in
it
the
changed.
80s?
Whoever takes care of them takes care of them, but I'm just,
Yeah.
when you're saying it was changed,
Okay, well, I can give you the history of that local law.
then the other thing is you sent out a letter with the water bill about,
Hey, Sean, if you don't mind, are you talking about like maintenance of the sidewalks or like maintenance
replacing if
of?
they're heaved or cracked, yes,
Okay, because that's a different question as to whether who's responsible for removing ice and snow on them.
that's the residents.
That is correct, it is the
Correct, I
residents. I just want to make
understand.
sure
Yes.
that we're just.
I'm talking about cracked,
Got it,
heaved,
okay.
there's tree limbs pushing them up,
Mm-hmm.
they're cracked, they're sinking, they're all over the place. You sent out a letter about, pollution, basically. One of the worst pollution that's going on here is the people putting their grass, their leaves, their trees in the street. It's washing down into the storm drains.
Mhm.
That was never allowed for years, and then I'd say within the last 7 or 8 years, it's getting very prevalent. That's going right into our ponds, it's going down, it's filling in our ponds. It shouldn't be. You had stated that you're allowing it because people like to keep their lawn beautiful.
No,
You can go back and look at your tapes.
All right.
You said
Fine.
people want to keep the lawn nice, maybe not beautiful, you want to keep a nice lawn, they put it in the street because they don't know how soon it's going to be picked up.
well.
That's
then-
irrelevant. Keep it in their lawn, it's theirs.
Absolutely, and I'll go back and double check whatever meeting it was. But to the point that if people want to keep their lawns beautiful, I couldn't agree more. However, common sense would say your swipe along the street should be in towards your property, not outside the property. And if it is in the street, then you must blow it, collect it, clean it up and put it in a bag and discard.
I don't know what Decker looks like today, but I've seen 2 people blowing their stuff in the street, leaves and grass and everything.
Well, if you see something, then call us, because the guys are on alert when they see it to put the notice out to the people and let them know that they're not supposed to do it. We've said it at several meetings, and we're saying it again since it's the fall, to make sure that leaves and grass and those things are not blown into the road, because number one, they could be hazardous. It gets wet, they're slippery, people step on their brakes, they can slide. And the secondary issue is that stuff ends up in the ponds and causes problems.
So with the trees and brush, I was getting flat tires on the bike.
Yeah,
People don't, the town comes along, picks it up, but they don't clean up the leftover, which the residents.
well, they have rakes, they have brooms, and they bring a blower.
They need a
with them.
blower. I've
They have
never seen a
leaf
blower.
blower,
I've never seen that.
right.
That's it for me, with the agenda item. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Paul, did you say you had something?
No, I'm gonna send you a letter that I had from Dave Hines,
Okay.
from, who was the lawyer, started with a P? Oh,
Dave Hines?
yeah, he was with,
It wasn't
I got-
Kovitz and Gubitz?
he was with them.
Ben Gailey was always,
No, I know Ben Gailey was, anyway, I'll send you the letter I
Okay.
got regarding the sidewalks,
Okay,
because they went over that.
okay.
That was a question back then.
All right, cool, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, if not, then we'll jump into announcements. Just 2 things that aren't on the agenda. One, just a reminder, we're in the winter months, there's no parking on the streets in the evening hours, starting November 1st to April 1st, obviously for the reasons of snow plowing, removal, things along those lines. Secondarily, we received from Congressman Pat Ryan's office, a Veterans Appreciation Luncheon. We just received this, so it's Sunday, November 9th, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Orange County Veterans Center, Lawrence Avenue in New Windsor. We have it posted online on the website at the door, and it'll obviously be on the YouTube, and if anybody's interested, they just need to call and get a reservation opened up to all veterans. Okay, so the first thing is M&R Energy Resource. We went out to bid. Low bid was Constellation Energy Electric at 0.09154 for 38 months. We'll be doing a resolution a little bit further into the resolution area. Today they started the underground survey of North Street. Half the road was completed from 94 up to Ferguson's area, maybe closer to the Brotherhood Winery. So this, hopefully tomorrow that will be concluded, and then we'll have an opportunity to review the underground survey of what they've done. And what I'll try to get them to do, since you had mentioned that broken pipe over at Woodfield, is that we go over there and do the underground survey and see if we can locate the location of that break on that pipe itself. So we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. For Bristol Court and Potomac and Puritan Lane, Puritan Lane is not on the paving list, but Potomac and Bristol, that was scheduled for sometime this week. We're waiting for confirmation. There's been a couple of days of rain, so they could have been delayed. So we'll keep you updated on that. Update on the curfew for Halloween. Thursday and Friday were the days. Obviously it rained on Thursday, so nothing was really happening there. We had a little bit of an incident on Friday. A house over in Brookshire was had some eggs thrown at it. Some of the neighbors thought they saw some kids, and they went after, police were patrolling the area. We had a couple of extra guys on. We had a bunch of thank yous from a lot of residents seeing the visibility of the police cars, and that was appreciated. So things were really overall not bad, and we did increase the time to 8 o'clock. And according to the chief, it went well. Village Hall structural inspection of the second floor. The company was out here last week, right? Last week. So they did their survey, and now we have a couple of other areas of the second floor that we need to create these hatches so these guys can get their instruments and their heads into these holes to look at the joists and everything else, if there's any access up above, but we have hard ceilings. So we're going to come through the plywood that we have on the second floor. We did touch on the hydro wells. We did test both of them. The one that's further in had about 80 gallons per minute. The one closest to the curb was about 100 gallons per minute. And we're obviously still going through the DEC process of approvals and so forth. So that was one of the necessary steps that we did. And once we get the reports, I'll be working with the engineers to go to the next step. The good news is that if those wells were producing what they needed to, all of our bedrock wells would be able to generate 500,000 gallons per day, pretty much what we use now, between 450 and 500, which would be a very good thing at the end of the day. So, like I said, more to come on those for those particular things. Next is G&G process grants. We're going with a different company. These guys are very well experienced in municipal and all sorts of grants for federal level, state level, and local level. We've had our one-on-one meetings, conference call with these guys, with Vernon, who's kind of leads the way with all the grants. We talked about a number of issues and areas that we're concerned about. We will be writing grants for the high growth wells that we discussed, the wells that are potentially going to be used over at Spindler's, general infrastructure, the water tanks that we had reported on at our last meeting that had a total of repairs between the two tanks of almost $1 million, capital equipment, That's normal, but that would be part of it. One thing we're looking for in regards to the MS4 system is a back truck, and looking to potentially go in with an IMA with another municipality, because the state is favoring municipalities that go into these shared services, and then the grants are a little bit more acceptable to them. Excuse me. We'll be meeting with the county, a date to be determined, to review our mitigation plan that we've been working on. The NICOM legislative priority meeting is set for November 13th. We'll be participating with that, and it'll be over a Zoom call or some of those. MS4 workshop, 11/13, this coming Thursday. I'll be going to Long Island to a DEC seminar regarding the mapping phases of 1 and 2. And there's also a McGoey, Hauser, and Edsel seminar on the 13th, so I'll be talking potentially Susan on that one, or Chris Martino. It's only an hour or two, and it'll be down in New Windsor to potentially attend that one while I'm down in the island at this meeting. The water sewer billing, we put these new sections in here for kind of just updates in general, if any of the trustees have anything of their liaison responsibilities. So Susan, if you have anything for water and sewer?
Bills are out, I know I got mine today. We are up to 385 of the new meters that have been installed. The goal is before the end of our budget year to have 450 in.
Also to report, wells, we're at 27 feet 1 inch today. So they've been holding steady since we did receive those rains. Anything else?
DPW, we're starting to get ready for our negotiations with their contract, which expires next year. That's underway. As well as we have started our budget meetings with both H2O and with our DPW department.
Thank you. Building department, Donna, do you have any updates we'd like to share?
Building, the last 2 weeks, we collected $2,255. 125 of that was from fire safety, 875 in municipal searches, and permit fees, $1,255. Inspector is making rounds now, starting with the restaurants, and then sometime in about February or March, she'll go through the rest of the businesses. But they will be inspected annually now.
Good, thank you very much. All right, any updates on the police side, Stephen?
Not much. As you already said, Halloween went really well. We had one complaint. Out of all the thousands of kids, I think that was actually fantastic. Our new 2 cars are in action already, and the old cars that were replaced, they have all the stickers and everything removed. They're not getting the equipment out and cages out, and we will probably be wholesaling at least one of them. Again, budgets are, now we're starting to work on that now, and we'll see where we go from there.
Thank you. Let's see, Vernon, any updates on grants? I kind of covered it. Sorry about
It's
that.
thunder.
We've dissolved our relationship with Millennium. We moved to G&G just because they were not productive for the village. That's what we did.
Okay, very good. Anything else you guys want to bring up? Okay. All right, we'll move into the resolutions. So resolution 12-174, schedule a public hearing regarding the local codification of the village of Washingtonville. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second, Vernon. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0, thank you. Next is resolution 12-175 to adopt M&R Energy resource bid for Constellation Energy Electric at the price of 0.09154 for 38 months. Can I have a motion,
Motion.
please? Steve on the motion, second, please.
Second.
Susan. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Next resolution, 12176, to accept the resignation of Benjamin Gerstner from the Washingtonville Police Department. Last day would be November 28, 2025. Ben has decided to relocate to a different state. We wish him all the very best with regrets of his resignation. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Steve.
Second.
Vernon. Any questions or comments? That being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 12177, to accept Blanca McCormick as temporary ethics board member with a stipend of her hourly rate. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Done.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Donna. You're welcome.
I know we look alike.
Close. It's the glasses.
We just go by.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 12178, to accept the final handbook version dated 11/04/2025. Motion.
Motion.
I give that to Vernon.
Okay. I'll second it.
Second?
Second.
And we have Donna. Questions, comments? Just like to thank Vernon for taking the lead on this, did a great job, found really good, great company to develop this process, and it really didn't take really many months. We've met, everything's been converted into this book from village perspective, and obviously this is something that will always be moving, but we finally have the book. So great job, thank you. Anything else? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Resolution 12179, to purchase asphalt whacker plate compactor with proceeds from the Ford tractor of $4,973.28. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Susan. Second, Steve. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 12180, to authorize budget transfers and amendment as necessary to effect necessary transfers of funds to pay the village warrants. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Vernon. Any questions or comments? None being there. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Now we're into the portion of public comment on general items. Paul?
I was looking through the minutes, and they look very good. The Veritex, we started using them full-time now?
No, temporarily,
No,
just
it's
to catch us
temporary.
up.
Yeah.
We're caught up.
So they're not gonna be done like that all the time?
No, because we have to pay for it.
I know, that was my next question.
Yeah.
No, we needed to
When
get
did-
caught
when
up.
did we
We're
do
caught
that?
up. We're good.
But they do a nice job.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they
did.
do.
Well,
Yeah,
word
we
for
pay
word
for it.
verbatim, so.
Yeah.
Get what you pay for. Howard Potter was that attorney.
Sorry.
Howard,
Howard, yeah, Howard Potter.
yeah,
I was looking, I could see his face, but I
yeah, I
just couldn't
could
remember
too,
his name.
sitting over there, and
Yeah,
just his name just came to my head.
cool, okay.
On a
Any-
si-
yes.
On a side note, we record these meetings.
Yes,
There's access to like Scribe
right.
to pull everything off that meeting.
Again, we fell behind. We didn't wanna, it just snowballed, so we got caught up, and now we are using the videos and creating our own minutes in-house.
Sean?
Sean Hegarty. I asked at the last meeting why the agenda for 8/18 disappeared. It's still not on the website for the village.
That was one that we just, right?
Wasn't on,
One of the,
That was
the few that were missing, yes.
But it was on there
On the
originally, that's the
agenda.
one
No,
where
I'm
my
sorry.
name was on.
Agenda,
The agenda or the minutes?
agenda,
The agenda,
Yeah,
8/18?
818. It was the one where you put my question in there, that whole agenda disappeared.
It was a lot of extra.
Weeks ago, there was extra pages. I asked the last meeting I was at, which was 3 meetings ago, what happened to it, and I got no answer.
It was the whole packet, we were only put together, it's just a single page number went up.
I don't know.
We'll-
I can put that
We'll take a
on.
look,
I
we'll
can
look
do that
tomorrow
right
and get back
away.
to you.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll just look and see if it's on there, that's,
Right,
Yeah, I'll look at.
you know, it's 3 meetings ago I asked.
Yeah, we'll check it out and get it posted.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
One more. The resolution that you already passed anyhow, Lincoln McCormick, who's that?
she's currently the clerk for the volunteer boards. She's temporarily sitting in for Christine. Christine is on that board.
And
The ethics board.
She gets a stipend for sitting in on
Well,
it?
Christine was getting a
gets
stipend.
a
What happened
stipend
was,
also?
as per code, for ethics board, somehow, some reason, it required a village employee to be
Right,
a member on that board. I put it out there months, probably close to a year, we couldn't get anybody. So we offered a stipend, Christine stepped up. She's sitting on that board, and she's incapacitated at this point, she's out for a while. And Lega is temporarily filling in for her, at her hourly rate.
right. And going back to those minutes, April 10th.
I'm sorry, wait,
No,
village
no.
board minutes?
No,
or-
no, you know, I'm talking to Tom.
Oh,
April 10th, that's when we were talking about going back to the old thing, the food trucks. Remember we were talking about the food truck parked at the village, the old, the municipal lot?
Yeah,
April 10th, from page 4 to page 27. You, yourself, talked about those food trucks being at Sewell Park.
correct.
To bring notoriety to Sewell Park,
Yep.
trying to get notoriety at Sewell Park.
Yep.
They'll be in the park, no, this is more for Sewell Park. That's, you know, going back to when we talked about that food truck being parked at the municipal lot there.
Right.
They were designed, by your own words, was supposed to be at Sewell Park and or Vernal.
And that was the overall plan. Unfortunately, the overall plan, we didn't get food vendors until later. And then we had that weather, we had a lot of rain, so we didn't want to put the trucks down in that area. And then the secondary thing that came up as a result of trying to put the trucks there is access to the park. So the real issue there is that there's no sidewalk
And that was discussed
right
at
from
that
the
April 10th
parking
meeting.
lot to
Yep.
the site. So that's why we decided, for mostly safety at that point, that we would have those 2 trucks in the village parking lot area on the side. And we're working on the grant, been in touch with Scoofus's office for, I think it's about $170,000 to cover the cost of a sidewalk from that parking lot to the park itself. And then we're, you know, trying to work through those channels to get that approved. So, that was, I mean, that's it, at the end of the day. Yes, sir.
The Langland Park, you brought up the budget, during the budget season, we start talking numbers, obviously. Born and raised within the village has grown substantially over the years, as we all see. Being within the village, we also pay town taxes. We send them over $1 million a year, the village residents. That money leaves this village into the town, okay? What exactly do we get to this? I don't know. I have no idea. They still charge us for everything, but we still send money. With everything going on, our infrastructure's falling apart, roads are falling apart. We need wells, we need this, we need that, we need equipment. Why don't we start exploring and start talking about it, and maybe form a committee and get it on the agenda, public hearing, exploring the idea of keeping that tax money within the village and forming the town of Washingtonville. Town/city of Washingtonville. Too
Well,
much money is leaving the village, and keep the money here. Why should we send the money out when we get nothing in return? That money, that $1 million a year,
yeah.
could be going to good use.
I'll let Donna, this is one of Donna's passions, we've been talking about this for some time, but we are in conversations with the attorneys to do exactly what you're saying. Find out a way that that money can stay within the village confines versus giving that money,
Other
by
towns have done it
state
within the
law.
state. Other towns have done it within the state, other
well,
villages.
you know of somebody that has done that?
Yeah, it's Harrison or Tarrytown, one of them.
One municipality, when I spoke with the state, it's almost unheard of. So there were some options, whether we can be the town of Washingtonville, within the township of Washingtonville, right? Because we are independent, we're
We have our own
self-sufficient.
government.
We have our own government, we have our own PD, DPW, etc.
So-
I have been working on this for 2 years, no joke. I have reached out to the town, I am still in the process of trying to get answers as to where our allocated taxes are going, dollar for dollar. I've gotten nothing yet.
That's embarrassing.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir
Well, but
here.
maybe-
It's one, the
All right,
storm,
I'm glad you're working on it, great. But maybe we should get the village residents involved and have them voice their opinions and pushing the town or whatever representative we need to start reaching out to. You alone, you can't shoulder, all this on your own. Let's get voice and numbers,
numbers to do what?
I don't know.
To
Are you
change.
looking for answers as to
Well,
where
get
our
answers, let's start
allocated
with,
tax?
let's get it out there, get people talking.
Because I've exhausted our options in terms of, that's my biggest,
You start showing the village
Source.
residents the money that leaves this village that doesn't come back. I think you're gonna start, you'll start getting people to wake up.
there is a portion, so with the digging that I've done, I was able to find certain things out, but not everything.
Just putting it out
Not
there,
dollar for dollar.
It'd be nice to, get these
I
village
agree.
residents to get to keep their money here.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, we could do a lot with that money.
$1 million go pretty
And
far.
I think a lot of it is, in some of the readings that I've done with the state law, it's in state law, that the town may take X amount of dollars, however that calculation ends up working, they're allowed by state law to do it. It's just not something that they choose to do, but get them to either reverse it or go through the process to create us as a town. If that would be the avenues, that would work, but,
Only
it's,
one has detached,
yeah.
one municipality, and it's almost unheard of, and they gave me the statistics. If I knew you were gonna ask that, I would have brought more data with me, because I spent a lot of time on this. The other thing is, given that we are paying those taxes, the allocated taxes, what exactly are we entitled to? So it's not just what we're paying, but, so I was able to determine it goes into their A fund and AD fund. What exactly does that mean? It's not like us, right?
Yeah.
You can go right on our website right now and find out exactly what the A fund is, right? It's not that simple with the town for some reason. So what are we entitled to? If our taxes are going into those funds,
We're paying for the building inspectors.
right,
they-
and that's why we
we're
have the
paying for-
IMA,
They repair our cars, we pay for that,
yes.
so what are we getting,
Well, like I said, you're preaching to the choir here. I would love the answers as well, and I've been working on this
Yeah.
for 2 years.
Like I said, it's your,
And now
Very
the
good
new,
at giving
the
us
new,
the runaround.
we hire special counsel for this because, the firm, represents Blooming Grove as well. And then it went nowhere from there. Now we have another firm we're working with also.
and we're asking those questions.
Same questions, same emails. I
Yeah.
sent everything to him. I'm still waiting.
Did you talk directly to Harrison, the town village of Harrison?
No,
That's the one that's town village Harrison, New York.
well, I don't know
Right
when
down
that
Westchester
happened,
County.
but when I spoke with the state, Harrison was not that municipality.
But then
It
there's
was
two
one in
now,
this
yeah.
county. So unless that happened within the last year.
No,
year
it's
and a half.
been for a
What
while.
county is it in?
Westchester.
Westchester?
Mm.
It was there when we were in office.
Are you saying they detached, so it was a village?
It's called the Town/Village of Harrison. Same situation that we were in. They were in town and they separated from the town. It became the Town/Village Harrison.
But were they a village first?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll call them tomorrow. That's easy.
And
Do you know when, Paul?
it was before 2017, 16, when we came in. Of course,
Okay.
we were looking into it. You know, it's a process.
Yeah.
You have to get everybody to agree.
Right, and that was the other piece of it.
Yeah.
The numbers,
But if you don't,
Do you know-
push it, if you don't,
Paul?
if you don't,
the vote includes Blooming Grove.
Right.
Blooming Grove will never,
It's a
ever go for
referendum
it.
and everybody.
we don't know that.
Yeah, you could win.
That's really true.
Yeah, we'll call them tomorrow. That's easy.
That was the other piece.
Because the
that-
other thing,
But just get the word out there, let the residents know.
If Wikipedia is to be believed, it happened around 1967.
67.
1967. The most recent example of a town/village splitting off is a certain town/village about 5 miles south of here.
Yes, and that's the one that I was.
That's the one, that's the most recent one that I know of,
That's the
is Palm
only
Tree
one
slash
that I
Curious
knew of.
Joel.
And, is he done?
KJ
But-
went from a village to a town.
You don't talk to your own son, I gotta talk to
But-
your son.
but there's still-
They
They
separated.
separated.
But
Woodbury
there is a
and-
village of Curious Joel and a town of of Palm Tree, they're coextensive, they operate as
Like Woodbury,
basically one.
Woodbury is a town and a village with
Yeah.
like a small sliver of difference.
Well, they create, Woodbury had the town, right?
You got a town,
Then they
you
created
got a
the
village
village.
of Woodbury.
Yes?
I don't know about
Yes,
Woodbury
yes.
splitting up.
That's what I had
They
just
created
said.
the village of Woodbury, which is essentially the same borders with some slight
Mhm.
Right.
variation.
That's what I heard. I know Cantor. So we'll make some phone calls
All right.
and
If-
some digging.
In line with that, I've heard it mentioned, I mean, town of Blooming Grove gets taxes from South Blooming Grove, from Washingtonville, and from Blooming Grove residents, right? What's happened with the South Blooming Grove tax base now? How much, and I heard a number, I won't even say it, this was a while ago, you know, with houses becoming houses of worship, that the taxes, the income to the town was going down. Do we know any numbers there?
No.
Because it affects us. Because there's still a bill
Yeah.
to be paid, and if they're not getting it from one village in the town, they're gonna look to the other
What I heard
village.
gets affected is I think it's the equalization rate. The problem is that area homes were being sold at such a high number that it affected the taxes for this village and I think other residents within Blooming Grove. Because a buy level here could be, I'll say 500 just for an example, but over there, it's $1 million. And some of this, you know, is potentially cash. So at the end of the day, because of that unevenness, is the last time, and he's retired now, Moses, from the assessor's office.
Retired?
We could, you know,
Just retired.
bring it back up again, but that was something that he had a big concern about because it was killing the equalization rate and making it a worse situation.
So do we have an assessor? We
The
don't-
town
Do
assessor.
we have an assessor?
Yes,
You just say he retired.
he retired, but they had somebody, they hired somebody.
Oh, okay.
They have somebody there. If you wanted to give him a call, she'd be happy to talk to him.
I just talked to
And their
him.
backup is very good too, and backup, she's Stacy, I think it is, so, yeah.
Just to give you an idea of how skewed the values are, the Spring Lodges, you know, on 208 by the Sunoco, $18 million it sold for.
Does it come with the green water in the pond?
No, brown,
Sometimes blue.
depending if it's raining.
So, but that's, you know, you're talking about 25 acres.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is, maybe it's tangential to the, tangential, if that's the right word, to this issue, but, I assume that the ward system that we created years ago is dictated by population. That the populations are theoretically equivalent in each of the wards, right?
That's my understanding
South
when they
Blooming
created
Grove,
it.
it may not be perfect, but
Right,
it's
it's
close.
close.
to it, right?
Right.
South Blooming Grove is a single ward. The village of South Blooming Grove is a single ward, if I read the map correctly. The population, when the construction is done, the population is going to skyrocket in South Blooming Grove, forcing a
Redistricting.
Redistricting of the wards.
of the wards. So we have two wards, villages is two wards,
Right.
right? If they say now, because of the increase of wards are gonna change, that may have some impact on us as far as our position within the town. So maybe it is a good idea to get out of the town, because right now, we're not affected, right now, we're not affected by redistricting, but that could happen.
Mhm.
Probably will happen, I guarantee it will happen.
Yeah,
So for us to separate from there would distance us more from the politics and the demographics and everything else, and I'm not saying this the wrong way.
right,
But we will become a smaller, a smaller piece of the pie
right.
in the overall scheme of the town of Blooming Grove, so it should be something that could be considered. There's
Well-
not a lot of, I mean, what's happening is probably gonna happen anyway eventually. It just maybe changes.
Yeah,
The problem is not just a village decision. We need the town vote as well. It's a cumulative vote,
right.
We don't know until we do it.
and it's a years-long process.
On my tax bill, I see, if I recall from the tax bill for the town, is the fire department is on there, the ambulance is on there, and then the rest of it is just everything else.
The library.
The library, right?
Yeah.
So those things, which include Monell and Blooming Grove Volunteer and Moffett, are also paid by the town. People in the town are paying for those things as well.
Correct.
So you need to balance, mathematically, you need to balance out. The $150,000 that we get levied, say, for the Blooming Grove Ambulance Corps, we're gonna have to have a new ambulance corps. We're gonna have to have our own ambulance corps.
Actually, no.
No, no.
We could,
No, it works differently. The ambulance and the fire, they work on districts. So
okay.
you have a fire district, you have an ambulance district.
So we'd still be paying money to that district.
You would
Yeah.
still be
So we
paying to those.
wouldn't save anything there.
The only thing that would change would be the sanitation, because we do pay that as a separate line item.
Recreation too, right? Something like that.
Oh, recreation, you have senior busing,
Yep.
and in those cases, to me, we would do IMAs to keep things as, potentially they are, unless they would decide not to sign the IMAs. And then that means we would have to potentially, they would only take care of the citizens or seniors within now the town of Blooming Grove, and we'd be having to take care of our 3 senior centers.
We'll be keeping $1 million within the village.
And
Well,
and there's grants and things like that, it's just,
there's a big push from Albany to have combined services. So if one
Consolidated.
municipality would say no to an IMA, we have other surrounding municipalities. And like I said, when you sit there, Vernon's more versed in this than I am, but if you look at the grant opportunities, what you can combine with another village, the amount you'll get, in some cases, is more than tripled. So like Tom mentioned about maybe going in and doing IMA to get a vac truck. A vac truck costs what, about $380,
no, 650,
$650 for the big boys.
no, something substantial, yeah.
Need that for all the water meters you put in,
Was that?
for all the water meters you put in.
Well,
No,
but just think about it, if we went in 50-50, let's say with New Windsor,
I feel like I'm driving
We could
down
get a
Decker,
grant to
somebody's
cover
getting
it.
a lawn dug up for the.
we'll come by, we'll take care of your lawn, hang on a minute.
My valve turned, thank God.
Sometimes it's easier said than done. Not every municipality wants to,
Yeah.
an IMA. We looked
Yeah,
into
I've
this when we were
reached out.
looking for a building inspector.
I've
We
reached
couldn't
out
find any.
to Monroe, I've reached out to New Windsor a while ago, just floating the idea. And I think everybody wants to stay independent, which, from an equipment standpoint, doesn't make any sense, that everybody has their own. bucket of equipment that we do share, but if we could share $650,000, makes it easier.
Especially with specialty equipment. The price tags on that stuff is insane.
Excuse me. So, but we'll follow up on Harrison.
One other question, unrelated. I know that you passed a resolution that somebody's filling in for Christine. Are there vacancies on the ethics board currently, or is it full?
Do you have any? Currently? No,
Not yet, no.
no.
We anticipate that possibility in the future.
Are you interested?
I could tell.
Yeah, might be able to talk to your people.
Does he get a stipend?
What happened?
No.
You wanna pay?
Get a free back truck. Okay. Anything else? Anything from the board? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn into executive session, please?
Motion to adjourn to executive.
Thank you. Employment issues, litigation issues, no decisions will be made.
Good night.
Oh, you bored today?
What's that?
You bored today?
No, I had a long meeting.
Oh.